Okay, so before we start the second part, let me show you how it looks like on my phone. Okay, so I have a couple of dashboard here, but we are interested in the emergency calls dashboard. Okay, so I'm showing you the final dashboard. Okay, so this is how it looks on my phone. You can see, so you can just filter, select any month. Okay, so let me select another month. Okay, so I can hide my filter. I can go to location. You see, I can select a particular location. Okay, click here to get the list of all locations. I can go to the incident heat map. I can decide to show the labels or hide them. Okay, so I can also go to the recent incident and sort by any column name that I have here. Okay, okay, so this is what I have for you actually. So now we can start the second part. Okay. Okay, welcome once again to Abdelytics. This is the part 2 of the emergency calls dashboard that we started earlier. We had already created the first page. We also have some of the measures that will be very useful to us. Now we are going to focus on this second page, which is the incident location. Okay, so before that, remember to subscribe, like, and share. And also, for those of you who have not seen my channel yet, you can see I have quite a number of videos here. 43 videos. 43. I think those that are for Power BI are kind of 40. Yeah, something like that. So I have almost 40 videos. They are so useful. Of course, some of them are just some introductory videos just to show some of the work that I have done. But most of them are tutorials that I'm sure everybody can learn some one or two things from it. Okay, so let's proceed. So the next page we are going to work on is the location. Okay, so here I use a shape map. So yeah, let's look at the previous one, the one I did earlier. Okay, so here I use the shape map. Okay, and then down here we have the location, the various locations. Okay, so for this I put together three of the columns. So we have the zip code, we have the state, and then we have the city. I think it's something like that. Okay, so what we are going to do now is to jump right to the second page, which is the location. Okay, so let me bring my shape map. I also make that available for you. So let's bring in the shape map. So I have the shape map here. Okay, so let me just drag it to the top, bring it down here. Okay, okay, so what we are going to do is to add the number of incidents. Okay, that will go to the color saturation. And also what I want to do is to change the map type. So let's go to custom map. Okay, and then we just browse straight to the map which I have here. There's something I have to prepare myself so that we can have few of them listed. So this is what we have. I don't need the title. Okay, so I will now select incident zip code. Okay, so you can see this is what we have here. Okay, so what I want to now do is to format it a bit. So let's go to the fill colors. Okay, so for this I'll use this color, and then for this one I'll use this color. Okay, yeah, this looks neat. So when I put a cursor on it, you can see number of incident and then the zip code. So let's add some tooltip to it. And what I want to do is to add the daily average daily incident to the tooltip. Okay, and what else? Let me put a cursor here. Yes, I have the average daily incident, and then a number of incident. Okay, so now I want to create another column. Okay, so let me make sure I select the emergency calls, and what I want to do here is to put together the zip code, the state, the station city, and the state, or the incident city. I think I have the incident city here and the state. Okay, so I'll just click new column. So this will be incident location. Okay, and then it's going to be a combination of incident, I think it's zip code. Okay, I'll append it with a space here. Okay, so incident state, incident city, and then we add another one, and then that will be state. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Okay, so we have this here, so I can also add that to the tooltip. So let me make sure this is selected. I go to this side and add the incident location that I just created. Okay, so let's just add it here, and then we have that as well. Okay, so this is fine. So let's now add our table. So I can just go and copy this table right from here. So let's copy this, come back to location. Okay, then we can put it down here. So top location, then bring it down. Okay, so now what I want to do here is that first we need to make sure the column headers are showing. So let me just use this black color. So we have the rank. Let me just take everything off, then we start all over. Okay, we have the incident type already, so we can just use the location, but let me take this also off. So we leave the incident. Okay, okay, let's start all over. Okay, for those of you who would love to see everything that I have done. Okay, so number one, we bring the incident location that I just created. So we have incident location here. Okay, so this is what we have. Now we bring in the total incident. So the number of incident comes here. And the last one is average daily incident. Okay, so this is what we have. So here, this will be total incident. Let's just name it total incident. Okay, and then for this, maybe average daily. Okay, and then let me just sort it in descending order. Now what we want to do is to show only the top 10. Okay, so what I'll do is to create another rank. This is incident type rank. I'll create another rank measure for location. So this is going to be incident location rank. Okay, and then we have here incident location rank. So this is good. Incident location. Now we can drag and drop that on top. So we have from 1 all the way down. So for this, I'll just make it rank. So look at what we have. Now we want to maintain only the top 10. So let's go back to our filter. Let's go to our filter. Okay. Now in filter, I'll make sure in incident rank. Let me just clear this. There was something there earlier. So incident type rank. So I'll select is less than or equal to. Let's keep the first 10. Let's check this again. Let me clear this. We have the average daily incident location. Okay. What is this rank doing here? Incident location rank. Yeah, incident type rank is still here. So let's clear it because I copied and pasted. Yeah, sometimes you may find yourself facing some of these issues. So let's now keep only what we have here. Then I can go to incident type location. No, not here. Incident location rank. Okay. Then I'll go to this side is less than or equal to 10. Then apply. So we have this here now. Okay, very good. Now let's just right click the total incident and then conditional formatting. We go to data bar. Then I'll change this one to this color here. I'll still maintain the value here. Okay. Now for the average daily also, I'll go to the data bars and that color I just want to keep something very simple, gray like this. So we have this and this here. Now there is something that we need to do. Whatever filter is selected here, for example the month, whatever month is selected here, it should affect here. You see we have everything here, okay, which is not good. So let's go, this is the way to do it. First of all, let me just copy this and paste it there. Let's see what happens. Remember this one holds the selected month year value. So let's copy and paste here. Now you will see that there is nothing in it. In fact, let me make whatever is in it black. But there is nothing in it actually, because nothing has been selected yet. Okay. So what we do is, let's go to the home. I'll click here just to bring in, you see, so we still have July 2022. Now let me select. You can see, so this is selected. I double click just to select, to highlight this. So once it is selected, okay, I'll now go to, I think this is in modeling or home. So once this is selected, okay, what I'll do is to go to view. Okay, I'll select sync, make sure sync is selected. So we have it here. So I want it to sync the location table. Make sure it is selected. So sync location table. It should also sync the heat map, sync the recent. This one is actually going to make it show there, but we can hide it. But first, let's go and check if it is showing there. Okay, so you can see it is showing here because the view is checked. So let's go back and say, okay, so we don't want the view to show. Make sure the slicer is selected. I don't want it to show, but it should sync. Okay, so when we go back to location, you realize that it is not there, but it is affecting this. Before, the values that we had here were different, okay? So it is affecting this. So now you can see, let me select all. You can see it's July 22. So let's change the color to something like this. Okay, so you can see that we have July 22 because that was what was selected here. Okay, so now we can hide this. Okay, so let me click and hide it. So we go back to location. I think we are done with location. Everything is okay here. So we can use the space that we have here. And also, yeah, I think this is fine. Rank, let's push the table a bit this way so it can be aligned with the top locations. Okay, so we are done with this part. Okay, now let's go to, before we go, let's copy the buttons from here. So I'll just select this, but I will not press Control. I'll press Shift so I can copy this and copy this as well. So I'll copy, then I come here to location, paste it, but this time we are on the location page. So this will go here, and then we just change the page to, let's go here, we can hide this now. We just change the destination to be home. Okay, so that when I click, it takes me back home. Okay, but when I click location, it takes me to location. So let me just go and paste the rest right away. So in this case, now we are on this page, so I can drag and drop this here. Come here, change the location to home. I'll go to recent as well, paste, and then in this case, I'll remove this from recent and bring it to home. Change the destination to home. Okay, so location is well done now. Let's go to heat map, and then let's look at what we have in our heat map. So this is what we have. The interesting part here is when you click the yes here, it shows the labels. When you click no, it hides the label. But let's quickly create this. Okay, so I'm going back to our interface here. This is our heat map. So the first thing I need to do is to bring the matrix visual. So it's here. So let's select it. Then we can put it down here. Okay. Now, when you look at what we have here, when you look at what we have here, when you look at this, you can see the hours I divided into two. So from 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6. So I have a measure for that, and then that's what we are going to use. Now let's go back here. Before that, let's go to transform data. Okay, so in transform data, okay, so what we want to do is to select the incident time, then we go to add colon, we go to time, and then we go to hour, and that will give us the hours. Okay, so here I can change this one to incident hour. Incident hour. Okay, so we have this ready now. Now I'm going to bring my measure to create an additional column that will group it for me. So this is going to be incident hour group. So let's go to add. We go to, okay, so I think we cannot even go and do it from this side. Let's go here. Okay, so it's still loading for the changes that I've just made. Okay. Okay, so we go to table view. We select the emergency calls. what we are going to do is to add new column to this. Then I can paste it here. Now what this is doing is to get the hour value from the current row. Okay, so it's going to get the incident hour, and then the next thing it's doing is to divide it by 2. Okay, take the integer part. So for example, 7 becomes 3, then it will multiply it by 2. So this will make it the start hour, and the end hour is going to be the start hour plus 2. Okay, you can use switch if you find it very easy for yourself. I think switch should be easy so that you can group it yourself. So what I'm doing now is to append the start to the end hour. Okay, so let's press enter to see what I have here. I actually got this generated by ChatGPT. Okay, so you can see. So look at what we have here. Okay, so you can see 12 is from 12 to 14. 21 is from 20 to 22. So that's exactly what we want. So we can now bring that here. So incident time group, okay, is going to be on our row, and then we add the days, the I think it's weekday. Yeah, so we have this here. So this I can change it to hours. Then we have the weekday here, and this, for this we are going to select now the number of incident. So look at what we have here. Now you can see it's showing 1111, and this is also filtered by the selected month here. Okay, it is also filtered by the selected month here. Remember, we use the sync. Okay, so I went to view to sync the filters with the other pages. So this has also taken the month into consideration. Let me delete this and pick it right from location. Okay, so we have this here. I can even align it right. Then I can copy, go to heat map, and then paste it here. No, it's still copying and pasting the other one. So let's go to location. Let's make sure I select it again. Then copy, go to heat map, and then I paste it. Okay, so you can see the July is already selected, and that is what is happening here. So when I select this now, we can quickly format it. So first of all, the background should be off. Let me go to layout, set this to none. Okay, so, and the next thing I want to do is to take out these totals from the 2. Okay, so for the grid, I want to enable the 2, the vertical and horizontal. Let's make it white. Then I can give it maybe 5. Okay, and then for the vertical grid, I can give it also, I'll make it white and make it 5. Okay, something like this. There's still some space for me, so let's use 8, 9, and then 10. Okay, or we can even increase the value. So let's take it back to 5. Let's make this one also 5. Okay, I'll increase the row padding 1. Okay, so I can make it 2. This is okay. Let's just make it 1. Let's go to value, make this 12. Yeah, so this should be okay now. Now the next thing I want to do is to enable the, let's go to cell element. Okay, so for the background, enable it, make it this color. Let's go to the color we have been using, so this color. Okay, and then the lowest value is going to be this. Okay, so I'll click OK, and this is what we have. Okay, this looks perfect. Okay, almost perfect anyway. Now let's go back to, I want to increase the, I think is the horizontal. No, I think it should be the vertical. Okay, so let's make it 8, 9, 10. Okay, so something like this. That's okay. So you can make it perfect yourself. Now let's bring in the bar chart. So let's bring the column chart here. Okay. Okay, so for now we are selecting what? The weekdays. So I'll select the weekdays. Now there is something that I have not corrected here. The weekdays actually start from Friday, Monday, Saturday. Yeah. So let's go to the weekday and then sort it by weekday number. Okay, so that is done. So you can see that we have it starting from Monday all the way to Sunday. So here also I'll select the weekday and then I'll select the incident number. Okay, so let's go to the number of incident, and this is what we have from Monday all the way to Sunday. Now let's start formatting this. Okay, so let's go to X axis. Title is off. Okay, even the value should be off because we have this down here. And then for the Y axis also this is off, and then the title is also off. Now I can resize this a bit so it can sit on each one of the days. Okay, so this should come here. I also want to resize the bar size, so let's go here. Okay, so we can just make it maybe 46, 50, let's make it 60. Okay, so this is what we have. Isn't this nice? And now let's enable the data labels. Okay, so we have the data labels here, and it's looking a bit perfect. Now we want to hide and show, but before that let me copy this, paste it down here. I want to use it to pass a message, so we can take this one. I'll change it to donut. Okay, so I can just go to the slices. Okay, let me leave it, send it back to column chart. I can go to the columns now, go to conditional formatting, and then select gradient, go and use this color and say I'm using this color. Okay, then click OK. Now I can change this to a donut chart. Okay, and then what I'll do next is to say that the legend title should not show, but it should rather be bottom center. Now when it is bottom center, I can now resize this to be like this. Then I can use this here, okay, to say okay, from the highest to the lowest, this is what we have. Now another thing I want to do is to hide this text. So in the legend text, I'll first resize it to be 8, and then I'll make this one white. Okay, so I'm using this to say okay, so start from the smallest, have these colors all the way to the biggest, like what we have here, to the highest. And then what I'll do is to just add some two labels and say minimum and maximum. So we can just pick it from the previous one I did. So we have it here, less. Okay, now this should be more here or less the other side, but that's okay. So let's get back here, then I can paste it. So we have less and more here. Okay, so let's bring this one here, and then let's bring this one here. Okay, so now we need drop down to tell us yes or no to show the label, to show or hide the labels. Okay, so we will have to create a table. So let's create that table, but I have a dash measure here to create the table. So let's go to table view. We say we are creating a new table. Okay, so table tools, we are creating a new table. Okay, so this is just saying show yes or no. So we have a table here showing yes or no. So we'll go back to the view, Now I can create a drop down, or let's use the new slicer. Then I'll go and select the labels down here. So you can see we have our yes no here. Let me put it on top here, and what I want to do is to take off the title, resize this. Okay, let's do a bit of formatting. The layout should just show single row. Okay, we can resize this. Okay, now the call out values, we want it to be centered. Now we go to the buttons down here, and then we say we don't want the borders. Okay, that is fine. And then one must be selected. Okay, so to enforce that, we go back to the slicer settings, and then we say force selection. So no is selected. Okay, which means that it should not show, but let's put it on yes for now. And then I'll go back to the button, look at the state, and say, okay, so when it is selected, the fill color should be our color here. Okay, so this is what we have. Now I need to create, this is the trick I use. I set this to, I check what is selected here. If it is yes, then I just set the color to black. If it is no, I make it transparent. So let's create this here, a new measure. So I'll create a new measure. So we have, this is going to be dynamic font color. So you can see var show, this is going to select, to pick what is selected, and then it's check. If it is yes, give it black. If it is no, make it transparent. So we have this here. So what I'm going to do now is that I'll select this visual right here. I'll go to data label. Okay, then I'll go to value and say go to conditional formatting and pass this to it. So dynamic font color will come here. So because it is yes, it is still showing. Let's make it no, and see, it is gone. Okay, so let's do the same thing for this part. So I'll select this visual, which is the matrix. I'll go to cell element. I'll go to font color. On it, go to conditional formatting, select the field. Okay, so color, dynamic font color, and then I'll click OK. So you can see yes is there, but if it is no, it should make it transparent. It is gone. This is very nice, interesting. For this one, what we can also do is to give it that round edge on top there. And for those of you who have not done that before, so check it here. So make sure you go to error bars, you enable this, you add the number of incidents to the upper bound, you'll see something showing here. Okay, so let's go to bar. We set the border size to 0. We change this color to our usual color. We go to markers, we make sure it is round. Okay, you can see it's showing something interesting here. So we go to 8. Look at this, or you can make it 9. This is nice. Okay, guys, look at what we have done so far. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. Okay, so this is nice. Let's see if we can go back to our home. We are in home. This one takes us to location. We are in location. This one takes us to the heat map. We are in heat map now. Solid. Let's show the label. Let's also hide the label. This is nice. Very interesting. Now we go to recent. We need to show the recent incident. Look at this here. When you go to recent incident, there is something interesting also happening here. This is actually matrix that I'm using. Look at it, and I managed to put all the columns together and arrange it this way. Don't you want to see how this is done? Guys, remember to subscribe, like, and share. There will be more. There will be more interesting stuff. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's bring our matrix here. We have our matrix somewhere here. Okay, let's just drag it to occupy the space. Okay, very good. So now what we need to do next is to select the incident number. Okay, so we have the incident number. So we have the incident number as rows here. Look at this. So what we are going to do is to show the various info or details of each incident number. Okay, now let's create that quickly. And how am I going to create that? So let's first select the table. So we select emergency calls table. Okay, so I will just say I'm creating a new column, and that column name is going to be incident details. Okay, so let's make it incident details. Okay, so the first one I need is the incident type. So we have incident type here, and I want to go to the following line. So if I want to add line to it, I use the unica 10. Okay, so unica 10 to get new line. Then after that, I will append it with the next one, which is when the incident happened. So first of all, I'll just say format. So I'm formatting the incident date. Okay, so incident date to DD. Okay, then Y. Okay, so this is going to be something like 20th December 2002 or whatever. Okay, so we can close the formatting. Then I'll add at. Okay, so I want to add the time also, so I'll append that one with the incident hour. Okay, so this is the incident hour here. So let's stop here for now and see what we have. So you can see that in the newly created column we have the incident type, and then we can see the date and then the time it happened. Okay, so let's come here and then add that. So let's go to incident details and add that to this here. So you can see that is in, when you collapse it, you'll see it here. Okay, but let's just click and expand all. Okay, so we have it expanded, so you can see. So this one happens on the 1st July 2022 at 17, but that's not what I want. I want to use the time itself. So let's go back to our table. Okay, so we are in our table incident details, and then here what I want to do is I will not use this, I'll use incident time. Okay, so we have incident time here, then I can do this. Okay, so you can see that when I come back here, you can see that is showing at 5:46 p.m. Okay, so let's format this matrix. The background should be turned off. We leave grid for now, layer and style preset, we just make it none. Okay, so we go to the row headers, we just turn this off. So you can see now I want this to be on the same line with the incident number. You can choose to leave it like that. So to be able to do that, let's go back to layout and style preset, set the indentation to 0 so you can see everything is here. Now we can add the rest of the columns. So I have it already done somewhere here. So let's go back to our column, and then we can go down here. Let me just add the ampersand here and come down here. Then you can see that in this case I'm adding 2 new lines. Okay, Then I'm adding a label to say incident location. So the incident location here is this, and then I add another 2 lines. I have reported to what, and so on and so forth, all the way down here. So what I have done here is to do a bit of calculation. Okay, so you can see that emergency time to dispatch divided by 10 is in minutes, and then here also divided by 10, this is also in minutes, and we have this also here. So I do this plus this, so time to en route plus time to arrival, division 60. So all these three has been added, okay, divided by 60 just to convert it to minute. So let's press enter here and then go back to our view so you can see. So for this incident, you can see the incident type, the date and time. You can see incident location, reported to, so the station it was reported to, the distance. Then you can see time to dispatch en route and arrival. So time to dispatch is 4 minutes, and then time to time en route and everything gets to the arrival 18 minutes. Okay, and this is what I have here. Now we want to be able to sort this in ascending and in descending order by selecting whatever column that we want to be sorted. So what I want to do, okay, is to create another table that will have the name of columns that I want sorted. Okay, and I have that somewhere here. So a new table is going to be created. So let's go to table view. Then we go to table tools, we go to new table, okay, and then we are going to add this. So we are creating a new table that will have this column: incident number, time to dispatch, time to en route, and then time to arrival. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's check the column name. So time to incident number is here, time to dispatch. So we have time to dispatch. I think it has this S here. This has us here. I just want to make sure it's the same thing we have as column name. Okay, so and then time to en route is like this. So we have this here. You can see the table here. So what I want to do is to create a drop down. So let's go and get a drop down from here, slicer. Then I can select the new column that I just created, the new table that I just created, which is sort incident sort option. So you select this, you can see everything is showing here. Let's make it a drop down. Okay, so we have it on top here. Okay, we don't need the slicer header, so let's so I can just click. You can see we have the column here. So I want to sort it in descending order by incident number, but nothing happens because we've not linked it yet to this. Okay, so what can I do? I'm going to create another measure that will help me check what is selected and then just sort it by the selected column. So I have the measure here, so let's just go new measure. Again, I paste it here. So what this is doing is to get the selected column. Okay, and then I use switch to check if the column selected. Okay, so you can see I didn't have to use the S over there. If I use that here, then I need to also make it the same thing here. So I'm going to correct that. But if incident, for example, incident number is selected, then it should use this column name. If this is selected, it should use this column name, and so on and so forth. So let me press enter. Then I'll go back to my table here. Okay. change this back, we need to make sure it is the same. And then here I have this. Okay, so we come back here to the view, we select our matrix, and then what I'm going to do is to add this new measure that I created. So what's the measure name? Dynamic sort value. So this is it. Okay, so I'm going to add it to our matrix here, so you can see it has been added here. And then by default, what I want to do is to make sure I click here, so it can start from the highest. Okay, now what I can do is to hide everything here, but before that, let's just select time to arrival. Okay, you can see time to arrival is selected from the highest. So if I select incident number, I start from the highest, and then you see the various information for the selected column. Okay, isn't this nice? Now the last thing we need to add is the selected period here. So let's just put it here. Okay, so I'll just put it here, then we are good. Now we can hide this part, this column. So I'll just go and hide the subtotal first, the row total. Then we go to specific column, and then here what I'll do is to set the text to white. Okay, and then this should be applied to the header as well. Now this lines here, we don't want it, and also even the row headers, we can make it white. We don't need that. No, sorry, this is what I want to hide. So let me go to column headers, and then it should be white. Okay, so let's now go to grid. We go to border, we set this one to white. Okay, so these things can go. Look at what we have now. Another thing I can do is just to increase the value. So we have something like this, which is okay. So this is okay. So it starts from a recent all the way down, and this is very nice when you view it on your mobile. I actually did it on my mobile. It was very, very nice to watch, and the way I was navigating it was interesting. Guys, this is what I got for you today. This is what I had wanted to share with you. I'm sure all of us have learned some one or two things from it. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. Have you seen my channel? An interesting one. Very interesting. Look at my channel. I have so many videos you can learn from. There is always something you can pick from it. Okay? Yeah, if there is improvement, yes, just hit the like button. Subscribe so that you can get more videos. There is going to be more. SQL will be following. MySQL, every single thing that I think is useful to everyone, they will be coming on. Okay, thank you so much. I hope we've not left anything out. So let's go back to home. Okay, so this is what we have. We go to location. Okay, we go to heat map, and then we go to recent. Okay, thank you. Have a nice time. Bye.